Team Cross is in the building. What's up, guys?
Yeah, what's happening, man?
Thank you for being here. I hope you guys are enjoying New York Comic Con.
Absolutely.
Thus far. Yeah, lots of buzz around this series. I cannot wait to check it out myself. Aldis, you are Cross, so naturally we're gonna start with you on this one. I mean, this is a character that is, not only a giant contemporary literary figure, but this is a character that's been portrayed on the screen before by titans, right? Morgan Freeman, Tyler Perry in the past. I know, you've taken on some big roles in your career. I mean, you played Jim Brown, you played MC Ren, but like how daunting is it to take on Alex Cross?
Man, it's this is different. I'm not gonna lie. The fanfare around it, the support around it, the legacy that's here is definitely something that is amazing and incredible. But I was never intimidated by the prospect of it because of how much I believed in it from the beginning. I think that started with just reading the first script. I probably read maybe like 15, 20 pages, and I put it down, and I was like, I hit my team up like, all right, like, who wrote this? Who is he? I need to meet this brother. We need to have a conversation. I was scared because I was like, this is really good. Like, really good. Is somebody tricking me? There's a nature to Ben's writing for this kind of genre that I think is wholly unique and absolutely necessary. He understands how to roll in all the elements that make life vivid and thrive. You get to see every part of every character's humanity, the love, the laughter, the fear, the heart, the humor, the sexiness, but at its core, it really is deeply, deeply like psychological thriller that you're playing the cat and mouse game the entire time in a way where you're so engaged, you're just like, you cannot turn it off. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And everything is smart. It's really intriguing to me. So I knew, this is going to be amazing. If I'm lucky enough to step in these shoes, I'm ready. I'm excited. When you're so excited and you have faith, faith blots out fear. It blots out intimidation in any kind of capacity. So for me, because I was so assured of what this was, I was just fully excited and ready to step into these shoes because I felt like, all right, everything I went through prior prepared me for this.
Yeah, well put. Thank you. We don't have like a ton of intel yet on this series, so I definitely want to just put this very simple question to the non-crosses in Cross. Can tell us a little bit about who you each play and what excited you about them.
You're his sugar.
Okay. I've said this before. I will probably say it a few more times today. The GOAT, Michael Jordan. I'm just gonna squash the whole argument right now. Yeah. This is the Michael Jordan. Yes, I bet they are. But this is the MJ of our series. I would be the Scottie Pippen.
Okay.
I am his partner, his brother. Someone he can lean on in tough times, someone he's not afraid to call him to the carpet and say, you're not being who you're supposed to be right now. Mm-hmm. And that's John Sampson.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
He's the cross whisperer.
The cross whisperer.
It's true.
It's true. That's what season 2 is going to be called, the cross whisperer.
Cross whisperer. I'm not the cross whisperer. I play somebody that helps Alex's character throughout with a lot of the investigations that we're going through. Because I don't know if you've noticed on what you did see that the show is really about not just him, but about the team around him that helps him. Is whether it be Samson, whether it be his family, the core people who are around him that not enable but help him be as wonderful as he is, and my character just is one of those people for him.
Okay, cool.
I play El Montero, love interest, but go way back from childhood days where we knew each other as Cross and El in the beginning. She's passionate, fiery, intelligent, and one of the people in his circle that become closer in the inner circle that try and keep him on the straight and narrow. It's a big community.
Ryan?
When we meet my character, Ed Ramsey, he's kind of a power-hungry DC elite, behind-the-scenes string puller. Is that something like that? And yeah, he's really got a lot of blind ambition and sort of doesn't really care who gets in the way, and sort of is very antithetical, I think, to Cross in many ways, who's there for the right reasons to protect the people he loves, for justice, real justice. My character's more concerned with power, greed, selfishness. He's a nice guy.
All right.
He's a lot of fun. Yeah, he's a sweetheart.
He's the comic relief.
Yeah, got you. Ben, I think one of the big questions out there, obviously, is like which novels you guys are going to be adapting in the series. I'd love to hear that, and also your general approach to writing on this and creating on this, and just knocking Aldis's socks off when he read that first script.
Yeah, I mean I love hearing that. I mean, if you're writing, you're hoping that you're able to get somebody to feel that way about the roles. Mostly, you're just trying to tell the truth through your voice and hope it resonates. But when you're tackling an adaptation, especially when it's already been on screen, you really gotta be intentional about your strategy. And for me, it started with going back and reading the books. I've always been a crime junkie since I was a kid, reading all the crime series. I actually hadn't done the Alex Cross series yet, so this gave me an opportunity to dive in, and I did that. And while I was doing that, a couple of things really came through for me. One of them was there are things in the books that aren't in the movies, and I think it's because the movies just don't have as much time to tell the story. So what I wanted to do is make sure that while we deliver on an incredible thriller with singular detective and signature villains, I also wanted to build out the entire family and fabric. And those were things that I saw reflected in the books. But the second decision I made was I don't want to do these stories as our mysteries. I felt like I wanted to do new mysteries. So I wanted to honor the characters in the world of Cross, but I wanted to take those and put them in new mysteries. And I talked to James Patterson about it, and he actually loved that idea and enthusiastically encouraged me to go ahead and come up with our own mysteries, because then we get to channel these characters in backdrops that are much more current for what's happening in our world right now. And I wanted to have that flexibility, and I didn't want to be in a situation where somebody's coming and saying, wait a minute, that's not what happened in the books.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So now we have a situation where we are giving them what they love about the books, but we're also giving them a new story, which hopefully they'll embrace.
Yeah, and of course we have to shout out Mr. James Patterson. I mean, still cranking away. I mean, anyone who's ever been to an airport knows just how popular his books are hotter than hotcakes for decades now. I think he just wrote a book with Bill Clinton recently.
Oh my
the man is unstoppable. I mean, you mentioned you did have conversations with him. Like, how much was he a resource for you guys?
I mean, early on there were a lot of conversations, and as a matter of fact, when he was saying things like, "Oh, send me the stuff and I'll get back to you," and I was thinking, this guy's writing like 16 books a day, so the chances of him getting back to me are very, very slim. But literally, I would send him a document on a Thursday. We'd be on the phone or on a Zoom on Friday morning, and he'd be giving me feedback. He was incredibly useful as a resource, especially when you start talking about how to orient the key factors. But he was not limiting. So when I said, hey, there are certain things I want to do that are going to be sort of my flavor of Cross, he was fine with that. He just had two requests. He said, number one, at his core, I want to be a good man. And number two, I want to be the smartest person in the room, whatever room he's in. And I said, okay, hold my beer.
All this, you touched on this a little bit, but I'd love to have you kind of expand it. We talked about, the iconic actors who've played this role before. Like, what was the process for you of really making this Cross your own?
I kind of came at it from a few different prongs. I mean, the first step was really having a conversation with Ben. And when we talked about the project, we really didn't go into how we thought the character should be portrayed. We didn't talk about those logistics. We talked about where we were in our lives personally as men, what I was going through, the things that I was newly discovering, stepping into new fatherhood, new husbandhood, all that kind of stuff. And, Ben, he does a mental checklist, and he's like, all right, I'm going to take that, and uses that to feed, the nature of the character, so that I really don't have work to do in terms of trying to find the character. I know the character. I just need to know the honest intention for what the character is trying to do, where he's trying to go, why he wants to go there. But I'm already him, right? So, you know, I feel like there was a synergistic lift when it came to trying to figure out what shoes we're you know, crafting to step into. Talk to James about the inception of Cross, what that meant to him, who Cross was to him. And when I understood the foundational basics of who this man is, who this person is, now I understand sort of the structure I'm building around in order to move forward with this kind of, you know, person, because I understand what he's supposed to represent. That means regardless of what the situation is, I have the true North Star of this is what his core is, that's how we move forward, you know?
Yeah, and finally, I mean, I would love to hear from the rest of the cast. Like you'd met Aldis obviously in prep and before this, but like tell us about meeting Cross for the first time.
Tell us how did it go? Isaiah.
And you already said Aldis is my true North Star. I just have to be honest. Honestly, you know, working with him is like having a really good crew leader, a team leader, because he sets a tone, and then all you have to do is just fall in line and match the tone, and you're gonna be safe. So that's kind of how I felt about it. Working with him, he brings a very high level of expectation because he's I'm not going to say a perfectionist about things because that sometimes gets a negative connotation, but he works hard at what he does and expects a level of perfection that just, you know.
I'm psychotically ambitious.
It makes you raise your level. And I'm thankful for that because I think that some of this work on Cross may be some of the best work that I know like everybody in this room has probably done having watched it. It is just so electrifying to watch these people here do their thing.
I appreciate that, brother. If I actually may expound on that, I got to say for me, I have the very same experience with our group here because everybody's bringing their A game. I'm very impressed. I'm very proud of all these people. I'm very lucky to be working with these people, right? Because the quality that we have pulled out of this thing is incredible. It's a favorite show that I've ever worked on. But I think for me, it always starts from the top down, and Ben sets that tone. I remember, and I know I'm nah. Get that money. No, I'm gonna put it like this. Nah, bro, nah. It's you said 100. You said 100.
That's a little light.
You said 100, bro.
Perfectionist.
Actually, I kind of beat this story into the ground, but this is where I was like, oh, this is different. I remember one of the very first table reads we had, and you know it's a round table. We got everybody there. You know the network is chimed in, and cast and the writers and producers, we all there. And Ben stands up and he's like, hey guys, how you doing? Ben Watkins. I'm one of the writers. I'm like, one of? We all got jobs because of you, bro. Like, you know, but he took the ego out of everything. And what he really harps on, and you know, amongst the producers, like we all talk about how do we galvanize our team and make people feel valued on a regular basis? How do we bring our people in, send them home happy, want to work, want to hustle? And Ben sets the tone to make everybody feel valued, respected, and at the same level. It doesn't matter if you crafty, catering, background, doesn't matter. You are at the same level. We all expect the same expert level of work ethic, hustle, and mutual respect. But you are also equally valued the same. That's set by him, and then we as the co-captains, our responsibility is to carry that on through. And that's why we have such a great set.